Written, spoken, or signed, we use words to communicate. We tend to use words we're familiar with more frequently, but it can often be tricky to define these common terms. Taking time to study the definition of words is a good exercise to practice occasionally. So let's look at some words commonly used in a personal growth, business, or organizational setting. The formal definition for these words were all obtained through Bing using the Oxford Dictionary. I've picked these 5 words because knowing them and their definition is very helpful to being a good leader, having a strong organization, and being successful. Let's start with insight. The capacity to gain an accurate and deep intuitive understanding of a person or thing. This is a great place to begin because having insight, this capacity for understanding, is a great advantage both in business and for your personal growth. It separates you and your company from others that are just going through the motions, repeating the same behaviors without thought or analysis. Without insight, you have ignorance, and in many instances, ignorance is costly. So use your insight for our next word, introspection, the examination or observation of one's own mental and emotional processes. This is a wonderful word and a very helpful growth tool. Examine your strengths and weaknesses, styles, preferences, and triggers. Knowing your processes can be so helpful when interacting with others. Take some time to recognize what you've achieved and how you like to celebrate your successes. Also, take some time to think about what obstacles you're facing and what methods you are comfortable with for addressing them. Next is assessment, and I think this definition is wonderful also. Assessment is the evaluation or estimation of the nature, quality, or ability of someone or something. Kind of like introspection in that you are evaluating, but this time it is not solely an internal exercise. Assessment is how we uncover the culture and functions of organizations, teams, and groups. Having insight into these categories helps understand the current state of a business, the impact of certain leadership styles, and the areas which have the most potential for growth. After introspection and assessment, I picked the word innovate. To innovate is to make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. If you have a clear picture of your processes and the culture of your organization, you can innovate to strengthen weak areas, make processes smoother, maybe invent a new process altogether. To do that might require a bit of our last word for this exercise, training. The action of teaching a person or animal a particular skill or type of behavior. Now notice here that the skill or behavior doesn't necessarily have to be new. In some cases, honing strengths can be just as helpful as learning a new skill. I often say that no matter your experience or expertise in a topic, there is always something to learn. Training will have the most impact if it targets the right areas. So using insight to gain understanding of the current state, and through introspection and assessment, you can pick training topics and focus efforts on innovating to make the changes you want to see reality.